Hey Seeker, welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with craft brew on the side. We weren't clever this time, but I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate and Aaron.
Hello. You know, I think you could say that it was a sneaky craft brew on the side.
Yeah.
A not so sneaky craft brew on the side.
I suppose.
But we caught it. We have it.
A caught craft brew on the side.
Yeah.
Well, on this episode, we are going to be not sneakily making our way through Chapter 38, but we are going to be visiting a new character, not a new character, but a character we haven't seen in a really fucking long time.
Catch up with chapter 38.
Yeah,
Yes.
catching up. But before we do that, I wanted to let every single one of you know that this episode is brought to you by our wonderful patrons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nate, question. Who are those patrons?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Aaron, because I'm about to tell you and everybody who they are right now.
Oh my gosh.
I know. These are all the wonderful people, the established, attractive people that smell great, and they have hearts as big as basketballs.
That's a problem.
It's like in a Grinch way. Not actually the size of a basketball, just, you know.
I don't know. I think it swelled. It broke that metal
Metaphorically
box. But
that
anyways,
large.
these people are great.
That's right.
They are. They're
I'm talking about Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I'm talking about Jenna Troska.
Jenna.
I'm talking about the tech wizard Carulis.
Carulis. Hey.
Prophet Carulis, excuse me.
Okay.
He is a prophet.
Wow.
I'm talking about guys like Josh Peruse,
Hey, Josh. Thank you.
Brian Taft,
Thanks, Brian.
the Spider-Man 360,
Everyone gets one.
Carolyn Strickman.
Who I think I've said is from Germany multiple times.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, because I guess that is not the most factually accurate statement.
Sarah Gallagher.
Hey, Sarah.
Al
Thanks.
Meyer.
Al?
You stepped on it.
I did. I apologize. Here, no. Please.
Yeah,
Give
let's
Sarah her due.
Yeah,
Thank you,
deserve it.
Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Al Meyer.
Al, I wish I could have answered why you're having podcast troubles, bud. I looked into it, and that is above my intelligence level. But you know what? Thank you.
Well,
Madison Arnold.
thanks, Madison.
And Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Aaron, you fucking piece of shit.
No, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
I don't like this. I don't know that we should keep Aaron on the list.
Hey, you know what? I'll unsubscribe.
No.
No, you don't need. I'm just saying, it feels
To be fair,
like we're helping you self-gratify while we're in the room. Like,
No,
it
no.
feels strange
I
to
am
me.
I am the established paid intern on the podcast.
I was going to say, to be fair, Aaron was one of our earliest patrons.
Yeah.
Hey, put some respect on that. I believe I'm the first patron.
That could, you know what?
I think it was for testing purposes, and then you locked it so I couldn't unsubscribe.
That's right. And now it takes $10 more every month.
Every
No, I'm
time
kidding.
every time I try to unsubscribe, it adds $1.
Hey, I just want to say that we appreciate you all so much because
Yes.
you know what? When we have things that we need to purchase on this podcast, we know that we can because of people like you. Like, for instance, currently...
It went down the wrong hole. I'm so sorry. Because I'm better.
For instance, currently, Nate is using a very ingeniously ringed together pair of headphones that has a corkscrew and hair ties holding it together. And we know that we can purchase new headphones with no problem because guys like you keep us going so that he doesn't have to not have headphones.
There will be a picture of that.
Oh, you have to, right?
We'll for sure put on Discord, and then you guys can figure out how to put on the other stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you all very, very much. We do appreciate it.
So, today's chapter opens with Zedd on his wizard rock trying to make contact with the spirit world, but failing.
But yeah, Zedd. We found Zedd again.
We're back.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
We just were talking about how he's like gone for big swaths of the book. And
Conveniently.
We like Zedd.
I do think that part of the issue here for him is he's wearing clothes. So
Oh, yeah.
He's not naked on the
he's
rock.
not naked.
It's hard to balance. It's hard to be connected with nature when you're wearing clothes.
Right. So
And chickens.
he blames Anne for not, him not connecting until she tells him that she's also lost her link to her Hana as well. She was trying to warn him. Like, suddenly, while he was doing his fucking thing, she's like, oh, can't feel my magic. That's weird. This is a problem. And so, eyeing the darkness, Zedd's like, all right, time to go. We should head out.
Yeah, something is fucking with both of their magic.
Yeah, something's
both
fucking.
of their powers.
Something's fucky.
Which, I mean, it's endearing if it's Anne just bothering him because she does tend to do that. But yeah, then you see the severity. We know that they are, well, we don't know where they are yet. They are just somewhere,
Yeah.
right? They're looking for the Jocopo Treasure, as we know,
Yes.
but they are traveling, and so they're exposed. And especially if they don't have their magic, then like,
Yeah.
See, and right away, I thought that he was having trouble connecting with the spirit world because of the issue that Anne was having with her magic, but it seems like they were able to use their magic, and then they weren't. Like, so for a while, he should have been able to connect to the spirit world.
Yeah.
So I was like, why is he blaming the Red Moon if they can't use their Han right now?
Yeah, the
There's
red moon
obviously
was
an issue.
The red moon was a while ago at this point.
Yeah.
I
but-
mean, at least like 24 hours.
But I see where he's coming from. If they had magic when he was doing that and then it cut off, it's not connected.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, it does say that he's got some history with the red moons and stuff not working the way that it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah, the red moon caused a disharmony.
Red moon
Right.
rising.
And when obviously Anne was
Says I.
upset because Zedd blames her immediately. Like, dude, it's not me. It's fucking affecting me too. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only time he's ever had trouble with his Wizard's Rock, though, is when something has been really fucking wrong. And Anne is upset because they were counting on this working, like really planning on having some direction from the spirit world. So, shit.
And what they're talking about doing is talking to the spirits to figure out where the Jocopo treasure might
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
if
get
it's
some
something from a
direction.
long time ago. Yeah.
They're looking for some guidance.
Yeah. Spirit guides or whatever. So the absence of magic kind of feels like they're falling on their faces. Zedd casts a concealing spell of some kind. It doesn't work. Like he has like powder that he tries to throw in the air. So it
Yeah.
should, even if their Hans are disconnected, that should have worked in other instances. This is showing him exactly what they're dealing with when he does this, and it doesn't work.
He's not actively casting a spell. He's using something that's been enchanted.
Right.
So it's like if something was stopping him from casting, he's not. Like this, this is being put into play directly, not a cast.
It's
Right.
like fireworks underwater.
Yes.
It
Yes.
just won't go.
Yes. So Zedd, he realizes it's not just their magic, it's any magic. He's like, we're in trouble now. Screw the horses, we gotta go. Because we're in the fucking woods. We can't just take the horse. It's gonna be more trouble than it's worth. We might even have to split up. Naturally, Anne doesn't like this plan. She's like, what the fuck is going on
Love
here?
that.
Well, and I
You are not getting out of my sight,
Yeah.
Zedekis.
And I think by this point, they do say they are specifically in the wilds.
Yes.
This is not just a random forest. This is the wilds. This is not the place, because this was my question. When they established that this was the wilds and how dangerous of a place it is, why was this when they started trying to use the Wizard's Rock?
Oh,
Why did
yeah.
he use the Wizard's Rock before they entered the wilds, which he is apparently familiar of, and say, hey, this 5 steps that way is dangerous. I'm going to do the Wizard's Rock thing here
Well,
and then go into the wilds.
I guess that's what I'm wondering. It kind of alluded to the fact that they've been trying for a while, and we don't know if that was the first time they had
Oh,
tried
okay.
it.
Okay.
Or if they had just been like repeatedly trying to make connections every time they stopped.
Okay. This is just where we jumped in.
Yeah.
They've
Right.
been doing this. Okay.
Because they've been traveling for a while now.
Okay.
So on their way to go hide in a ravine. Zedd explains that we're in the wild, just like you were saying. There's tons of dangerous shit out here, like the Nangtung. There are nomadic people whose magic cancels out other magic. So they can't use magic, but that means that Ann and Zedd can't either.
Right.
But that's what we were saying. Some of the peoples in the wild, they could like make your magic not work, but his magic powder shit still would have worked. So that's how he worked out exactly who we're dealing with here. Because although he apparently can't speak their language, which we find it out in a second, he knows a little bit about the area because he's been around for a hot minute.
He Sherlocked that shit.
Yeah, he did. But this is why he didn't want to fucking come here. This is why he was mad when he was like, Jocopo Treasure, oh, Verna says we have to go to the south of Kelton. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to do with my day.
Yeah.
Good, great, grand.
The one fucking place I didn't want to go today.
Yeah, no shit.
You say we have to go to Mordor? Cool.
Well, and it's because of things like this, and we do get into it in a little bit, but Zedd does know the wilds, and he wasn't necessarily worried about this problem happening. It does have a lot to do with exactly where they are. But like I said, we kind of get into why it is that they are where they are and how he wasn't planning on it.
Yeah. Well, and it could be like he knows where they're in the wilds, and you know that was kind of my thing is he knew the Nangtung, whatever it was.
Yes, the
Nangtung. He knew they were in a certain part, and he just didn't know he had reached that part yet. Because like he says, they're nomadic, but they're nomadic within a boundary.
Yeah.
They're not nomadic across the world. They're nomadic in this area.
Their territory.
Which I would argue isn't nomadic.
I mean, kinda. If the area is big enough, I guess you could count that.
Well, I'm saying like...
It's like if you're nomadic within America.
Well, I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like I travel 30 miles to work and then 30 miles from work. That's a long way I travel.
I think
I'm not nomadic.
I think the point is that they are picking up their entire tents.
They don't have permanent settlements.
Yeah, and then they move it. We've
campsites.
We've used all the resources in this area. We're gonna move and let this area regrow.
Oh, very connected to nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like farmers that they
cycle their crops.
They
rotating.
cycle their crops so that the other parts can get the nutrients back.
Okay, Nate.
Okay.
Jade, okay.
So Anne is like, why can't we just tell these people that we're friendly? We're just looking for the Jocopo and
Jocopo.
and then
Just
and then
out
we're
here
out.
looking for Jocopo. You seen Jocopo? I ain't seen Jocopo.
I ain't got no problem with you. You ain't got no problem with me.
Yeah.
Just point me to Joe.
Just give me some info. Let's go. They could help us. But Zedd is like, hey, I can't speak their language, so we're pretty much fucked if we try to do that. On top of that, he had tried to avoid their nomadic little area that we were talking about. So this must be a spirit raiding party. Like they are specifically outside of their general area looking for a human sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh, human sacrifice, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, that seems nice.
Yeah.
This whole thing just got escalated. Yeah, let's just talk to the people that want to kill and possibly eat us or do something to us.
I think calling it a spirit raiding party is like kind of misleading because it's basically a hunting party.
Cute version of what they're doing.
That makes me think we're looking for just the spirits, not looking for a way to release already occupied spirits,
now,
aka murder.
He does say
Right.
they don't usually use a human, which implies that they probably would catch a deer and use that in normal circumstances, but this is strange.
They catch whatever they catch.
Yes.
Human or not.
So the point of this is that they'll kill somebody, and then when their spirit goes to the underworld, it can take the prayers of the Nangtung with them.
That means they got to use dogs, if not people, right? Because like all dogs go to heaven, so it's like a guarantee.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Well, they did kind of say the underworld at one point. I don't think the underworld is heaven.
Here,
So
it's different.
So they might also be going for like gophers. All dogs go to heaven, but that gopher, fuck that gopher.
They get deep.
Yeah,
They go right down.
You're going down.
Love it.
It's kind of interesting though because when we met Du Chailu, she was wearing a prayer dress as well, but it wasn't, and she was almost sacrificed, but it wasn't the same situation that was going on here.
Right.
No.
But okay, so the person, the sacrifice, will take the prayers of these people with them, and in turn, the ancestors are happy. They'll protect them. Everybody's kosher. Cool.
Yes.
Everybody's great.
It's a good messaging system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a little murder. No big deal. Anne is like, I thought you people, meaning the Midlanders,
What do you mean, you people?
had a fucking alliance.
She does this at the same time that she also mentions these people that live in the wild as savages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but it's definitely intentional. And every time she does it, I'm like, holy fuck, stop. What are you doing?
Please stop talking.
Sorry, that's not what this you people was for, but I capitalized it so I could remember to bring this up. That Anne says some shit here. Verna says it too about
Yeah.
anybody living in the wilds, and it's towing a line for me that I'm like, not okay.
It is tough, but if I'm being honest, it's more realistic.
That is true.
I mean, every person you meet on the street does not share the exact same beliefs and ideals that you do, and therefore might say something that rubs you the wrong way. And so it's like you know, I'm one to criticize, I'm one to give praise. This is tough, but I like it. I mean, it's showing that it's like, no, there is flawed characters in here, but they're flawed on purpose. They're not flawed in that they think they're doing the right thing. Like, they're just like, no, Anne is straight up like a little kind of racist. Not necessarily like skin color, but as in races of people. Like, she's elitist.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Elitist.
could see that.
These people are below her. They're savages. They need
because
to be
they
taken
don't
care
live
of.
in big cities
Yeah.
with buildings that they built. Then they're I can see that.
They have untrained powers from her perspective.
Right.
Yes.
And she's like, okay, so how could you just stand by and let them fucking do this? And he's like, we do, but they only listen to Kaylin because her magic isn't affected by them. So, like, we do try to police them a little bit. We do try to be like, hey, so killing people? Not super great if they're innocent,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, and
Maybe don't do that.
And the reason Kaylin isn't affected is because she has subtractive magic as well. I
Right.
think
Yes.
he brings up that he believes it's only the oh shit.
It's the
Not positive magic. It's the opposite of subtractive.
Additive.
Thank you. They only nullify additive magic, which is what Ann and Zedd have.
Yes.
yeah. So there's nothing they can do about it.
So,
I'm sorry. I was just going to add that I think I missed it in the notes, but there was an agreement at one time between the Midlands and these people that they
Yes.
weren't going to kill people. That's how we know that they listened to Kaylin, because she set that shit up.
Well, yeah, because he's saying the spirit raiding guide isn't a human hunting party.
not
Right.
necessarily.
Yeah, they're gonna kill a creature. If they happen to find a human, they will.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
if that's all they can get their hands on.
Yeah, that's not plan A.
He's like, especially if the confessor's not here right now. If she was here right now, absolutely they would not fucking kill a human.
Totes looking for a rabbit.
Yeah.
We were totally looking for
Right.
a rabbit.
But if she's not here and they can get away with it, who's to say what the fuck they're gonna do?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's like, hey, we're not into killing people just because they're dangerous. We're not gonna just kill this whole town because that's the way that they do things. We don't run around and kill all the gars or the bears either, just because they would kill somebody if they got, if they ran into them in the fucking woods.
Right.
If they were antagonized.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did in Scotland.
Yeah. But that's such a tiny
That's true.
area.
Never
like
seen a gar in Scotland.
No, that's right. Not one. We
Yeah.
were there for a week. No flying creatures of that sort at all.
But some of that was for Ian.
Yeah, most of it was for eating. I think we've told that story on the show before. Like, hey, what's out here that can like hurt us potentially
yeah.
if we're walking around at night? He's like, oh, nothing. We killed all the dangerous shit.
Except boars. If I ran into a boar, I'd be probably pretty fucked up.
Literally the next day saw a story on the news about how a pack of wild boars were running through a city, and I'm like, John, like that. That's what I meant.
Yeah, again, wild cat of any size, I'm probably out.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, So the two of them kind of argue about whether it's self-defense to go out and eliminate a perceived threat, or if it's best to just leave it the fuck alone. But Zedd, thank
you, Zedd.
Yes. Says, now is not the time for us to be having a fucking theological debate. We will save that for the after show. We're being hunted.
That's right.
Unless you want to find out what these people do firsthand, it's time for us to get up on out of here, all right?
Which I want to point out is the first thing Zedd said when the magic didn't work.
We need to go.
The only reason we're still having this conversation is because Anne needed, confirmation about what it is that's scary, what's like. I would say in a situation like this, if I was Zedd, spell didn't work, I have a feeling it might be these Nang Tung people. I would take Anne's hand and be like, we are walking now. Like,
he tried.
Yeah,
that was the thing is because later on she says that she does go with him. At first he grabs her and she goes, "Fuck off, bud. Why are you grabbing my hand?"
Which I would argue,
stop! Don't touch me there.
I would, because you said it that way, and now I'm rethinking. I would not grab her hand, but I would be like, I will tell you on the fucking way, but we have to leave.
A hand grab is there to really enforce. No, this is fucking important.
Yeah,
unless you're Nadine.
Unless you're Nadine.
That would be my instinct, though. Okay, you don't want to come. I want to save your life, so I will pick you up and physically remove you from the danger if I have to. But then I get where that's being a dick too.
You know what kind of grinds my gears a little bit is that whenever Richard or Zedd or one of our important characters goes, you know what, you just need to go along with this right now because this is what, urgent situations, right? Like sometimes I agree. There's like Kaylin, fucking talk to your man, right? You have time. Urgent situations, you don't always have time.
Correct.
But whenever it's an urgent situation and our main character is like, let's fucking go, the person who is questioning them and nagging them and dragging their fucking feet is a woman. Every goddamn time.
Well, I mean, that is kind of a through line.
Said Jade, Nate and Aaron were quiet. Just so we're clear. Except you agreed. No, Aaron's on his own.
I do kind of agree. It is written a lot of times in these books that way.
Yeah.
Where the men are... We talked about this. It's like Richard and Kaylin being co-runners of this empire. And Kaylin's still like, let me just check with Richard first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's understood that they're equal. It's not trying to say that women are lesser, but at the same
There's
time,
undertones.
Yes.
Yeah, it just kind of defaults to the man being the number one.
Dislike. That's all.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, or I don't disagree with that.
So, okay. Anyways, they take off along the They take off along the stream, scanning their surroundings. There are corpses dotting the landscape. Well, there's like a hill. That's what they were saying. There's like hills in front of them, and there's corpses on the hill, which kind of seems like if you run up the hill, you're going to die because they're watching you.
You're like, okay, see where all those trees aren't and all the dead bodies are? Let's not go that way.
Let's not go that way. They want to hide in the woods because Zedd figures the Nantung are worried about traps and won't go in there. Then, through their silence, they hear the horses scream. Ugh.
That's right.
So, because earlier... Zedd was saying, we need to fucking go. And I believe at one point he said, not this exact phrase, but fuck those horses.
Yeah. So let's leave the horses.
In my head, they are now going in a direction that is not towards the horses. Right?
Yeah, they walked away.
Yeah, okay. Zedd and Ann are moving away from the horses.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah.
That might come up later. Just wanted to establish that.
They consider splitting up and assess their weapons. Well, Zedd considers splitting up. Anne doesn't really. She's like, no, you're not doing that.
Exactly. You are not getting out of my sight.
Anne has watched scary movies.
Yeah.
Just, nope. Splitting up is when the bad stuff happens.
Also, I am not wearing a white t-shirt because I will for sure get wet, and it is too damn cold for that.
Yep. The one day she forgot to wear a bra, too.
Anne has a Dakra, and it has no magic, so it won't, immediately zap somebody dead, but you can still stab a motherfucker with that.
I love the way she's like, but I could still stab a guy. We're in.
Poke holes all over, boop, boop.
Use the pointy end. You got it.
Zedd has his honey tongue, and that's it. He says that because it's funny, because Anne was like, can you use your honey tongue on them? Because you're always like, talk. And he's like, I don't speak their language, so no, I can't. But ultimately,
I don't know. You could huck a wizard rock at him, maybe. Be a bitch if you lost it. But I mean, if you're in a pinch, wizard sand in the eyes.
To be
I
fair-
don't know. Do what you can.
to be fair, at this point, he should probably look around and see if he can find a big stick or a rock of some kind.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because these people are probably not shocked by seeing other human genitalia. But if he just like pulled up his robe, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Shock value.
Wow.
Oh no, we're not going to get the crazy man.
Yeah, to be fair, he is old, so hitting somebody with a rock or a stick probably isn't going to go very far if it's more than one person.
Yeah, and this is serious. They need help from their ancestors, so they need good quality. You know, like this
Wow.
guy might be a little broken.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna stay
Anyways.
quiet.
Ultimately, Anne is not letting Zedd out of her sight. He makes a joke about maybe they only sacrifice virgins, and she's like, I don't want to die alone.
We're both not virgin, or we're both virgins.
Yeah, of
is
course.
the joke. And I was like, this is weird.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, this very urgent situation, but do you want to flirt a little bit?
No,
Do you want to get a little flirty?
she's a virgin and he's not, I guess is the point.
But she is calling him one because she's saying, well, I don't want to die alone because you would also be a virgin. Like, they would kill us together if they sacrifice virgin. She's saying he doesn't fuck. That was my
I
interpretation.
think she's saying that she's a virgin and she knows he's not because he's a whore.
I can't split up. Oh, okay. See, I thought she was going after like impotence.
No, I think she's calling him a whore.
No, Aaron.
Okay.
Zed fucks.
Well, I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
That's why it's an attacking joke.
Yeah. But it could imply that she, like, hey, we could get one off and then neither one of us has to die.
That was the other thing. I wasn't sure if they were trying to say, like, hey, instead of running, let's just make sure neither of us are virgins. Real
yeah,
quick.
there we go.
Oh
Let us,
my
hey,
God.
hey, listeners, let us know what you thought.
Whip it out.
There is a movie called Monster Man, and it has to do with this crazy evil dude
Oh my God.
driving around
Oh
in
my
a monster
God.
truck, trying to his right hot sister is luring virgin
It's a
guys in
terrible,
so they
great
can kill
movie.
him and then keep another dude alive. It's fucking insane. It's an awful movie, but it is a great movie, and it's one I love.
3 out of 5 wouldn't change a thing.
Exactly. But okay, so this virgin kid gets lured in, and she's all like, "I'm gonna do the sex to you," and it's revealed that everything this guy owns is all Velcro, so that when the day finally comes, he can get undressed in like 10 seconds, and it shows it in the movie. He hops on the bed, he's like ripping the Velcro watch, the pants, the shirt, everything comes off in like 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. That is what Zedd and Ann are doing right now. He's like, all I have is robes. Woof, done. Yeah. And get that dress up and let's go.
The Bruce Almighty.
Woof. Exactly. Well, if they find us doing this, then it won't work. Maybe.
Scare tactic.
There you go.
Terror tactic?
Okay, so they crawl out of hiding and directly into 20 bone necklace having, ball pouch wearing, spear wielding Nantuck hunters.
Fuck.
Nantung hunters? Whatever.
Namtung, yeah.
Great. Their faces are
Fucking
covered in
awesome.
ash and their eyes are painted black, so they're super creepy looking.
Yeah, they're juggalos. Juggalo!
So,
See, would you be scared then if they were juggalos though?
No, that's the family. I would feel right at home.
you'd quickly
I'm
be
not
like,
a juggalo, but I am comfortable among them.
except this might be where they take more offense to it because you're like, no, my best friend's a juggalo. I swear.
Oh, God. I know a juggalo.
I know one juggalo. He would totally vouch for me if he was here.
There are pictures on the internet of me in face paint.
I have a picture upstairs.
But I don't want to say I enjoy ICP's music very, very much, but I don't go to the gatherings and paint my face anymore. But there's no hate to them.
It's fine.
I think they're great.
I'll share the picture.
I won't yuck your yum. That's fine.
Anyways.
At least every Halloween, I bump some ICP in the truck very loudly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of them are wrist bound and forced to walk. Mm-hmm. Anne is like, leave him be, huh? Yeah? Okay, Anne, you know what? You didn't have a better plan. Shut the fuck up.
You suggested just being nice and talking to them, so it wouldn't have helped either.
And suggested stopping and having a goddamn philosophical debate while they potentially are chased.
Right, while they're just caught.
Anne,
But
this
this
isn't
is-
helping.
Yeah, this is where I was confused though, because it's like they talk about how they could see corpses on the ground, they could see all the stuff around him. How did they get snuck up on? I don't understand how they got caught.
We'll continue to talk about this.
Okay.
We're gonna push on.
Okay.
So, Zedd says, a confessor once told me that they're good cooks, so maybe we'll get a fucking meal, okay?
Hey, at least they'll feed us, right?
I'm hungry, like always, so give me some fucking food.
Spice soup, baby.
Ann's like, I'm way too old to be fixing around with a crazy dude. This is some bullshit.
That was supposed to be fucking around, but the autocorrect fixed it.
She pulled a lethal weapon. I'm too old for this shit.
After an hour of walking, they arrive at the Nangtung tent village. See? Tents. Told you. As they're guided with spears to their muddy pig pen, which will serve as their jail cell, the people are yelling messages and prayers for them to take when they die. They're locked in and surrounded by guards.
So that's terrifying, but at least they are getting a meal. They're in there with pigs.
My question was, it's a pig pen, and they're locked in, but I've never seen a pig pen that has high enough walls that you can't just fucking hop the fuck over.
Or a top on it.
Right?
No, they don't, because, I don't know if you guys know this, pigs can't climb.
Right.
Yeah, Pigpen's famously roofless.
Yeah, that's why the whole
Pigs
time I was like, oh, we're going to a cell. Oh, wait, a pig pen?
Yeah.
You just climb.
Pigs
Oh.
don't give a shit if it's raining. They like the mud.
I know there's guards, but like run.
There was a rag hanging on the end of my Uncle Jerry's pig pen. They ran a cow farm, right? They would butcher and process and sell the meat, but he also had pigs and stuff too.
Okay.
So we would have a rag hanging on the end of the house there that you'd lay over the top of the electric fence so that you could reach over and touch the pig's head. But no top because they weren't worried about pigs getting out. These people don't have electric fences.
Or do they? Is that where the magic gets siphoned?
That's where it's all going.
Anyways.
They siphon it into the pen.
Guided there by the ley lines.
Can't with you.
Boom.
There it is.
Drop the mics again. What do I unscrew?
Okay, so Zedd gestures to one of the guards that are watching them. Like, why are you doing this? And of course, they're like,
Love this.
Sure, I will answer you, prisoner. And they nod towards Ann and then give him the cutthroat sign and point to the moon.
Mm-hmm. He also is like, the blood coming down. After he does it, he makes a gesture to show.
Yeah, so Zedd interprets this as the red moon. Mm-hmm. So they're doing this to keep the spirits happy. So, he takes a giant, there's lots of leaps there. Also, the guy is like, sure, I'll tell you why, for no reason.
He does the throat thing, and he points to Anne, but he also points to the moon. So you do get red moon, but initially I was just like, oh, we're going to kill her. No, I know you're going to kill, I figured both of us, but okay.
Yeah.
At least for Zedd's point of view, okay, good, you're not going to kill me, but you're still going to kill her.
Oh, could be worse.
That's what he's saying. No, why?
Yeah.
It's the moon.
It's the moon.
Mm-hmm. So he was right. They're freaked out.
The disharmony.
At least as far as we know, they're freaked out from the red moon. Mm-hmm. So they came on a spirit hunting party, we're going to call it, and found them most
to try and make the spirits happy. But it's also funny to me because Zedd had already said earlier in this chapter, hey, if the confessors are around, best behavior. Mm-hmm. If the confessors aren't around, then then it's
the Wild West.
You know, it just like the mud people. Yeah, if someone stumbles on we know the confessors don't like it, but they know if someone stumbles on here, we're gonna fucking kill them and eat them.
If I run through a red light, but there's no cop around, did I do anything wrong?
No, you didn't.
Am I speed? If you speed. But yeah, so they kind of forgot about the whole trying not to kill people thing. Or they are choosing to neglect it now because of the red moon.
That's what I think. I think these people are extra freaked out because of the red moon. And normally, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I want to say normally they wouldn't, but in this case they are.
They were they might have been tracking a deer, and then somehow, again, what I'm struggling to comprehend, Zedd and Ann just stumbled into their grasp. And they're like, oh, well, all right, this works.
Their only contact from the outside world, I'm assuming, is usually the visits from the Mother Confessor, which come once a year, once every couple years, right?
Yeah, definitely not lately.
Right. So they don't have any knowledge of what's been going on politically or anything.
True.
So as far as they know, if they do fuck up and the mother confessor finds out, they'll be in big trouble. So they're not gonna. They don't know that Lord Rawl owns the Midlands now.
No witnesses, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they wouldn't normally try to stray outside of it.
Yeah.
Now, if they knew that the mother confessor wasn't complete, and this is where this whole Mr. Rawl is leading the Midlands is maybe not a good idea, because I feel like Kaylin had her hand on everybody and they were all like, okay, we will follow you. And then now she's cowtailing to somebody else, and it's like, maybe you're not that strong. Maybe I don't gotta follow your orders because you're following somebody else's orders. You're somebody else's bitch. Anyways, I'm going off on a totally random rant. I will finish because there's one last note in this timeline before the last part of our podcast. So Anne says, I hope Nathan's situation is worse than this, because fuck him, he got us into this.
It is his fault.
And Zedd says, what was it you said about mucking about with a crazy man?
Yeah.
And that's where we end the chapter. We don't really know where their situation leaves.
Cliff
Hanger.
That's right. Yeah, we don't know what he means about being a crazy guy, but I mean, I like the idea of what I said earlier. Like, they want quality over quantity,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They think that it's important that they do a human this time, or at least maybe they're relieved that they found a human because it's the good stuff, and that's what they want to sacrifice so they can get a solid answer or, a solution for their problem.
Just to not make the gods any happier or any more pissed off.
I have to imagine when these Nantung were just like out, they were trying to hunt a rabbit, they were trying to, do whatever, and all of a sudden they stumble upon, or whatever, Zedd and Ann just like, boom, hey, we're here. I bet you like one of them turned and looked at the other one and was like, look at these mother schmuckas.
I can't.
Well, I think with that, it is time for us to get into our beer break.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize.
All right, well, today we are drinking Mother Schmucker, and we are drinking it because, it's a raspberry ale, but we're drinking it because of our frustration at Kaylin for the last few chapters, right? I was like, that would be a good beer, because then we can just yell out, Mother Schmucker, whenever we get frustrated with I thought I'd be able to keep a straight face. Jane's just like,
I did not think Jane was going to be that committed. She said, all I'm doing for the beer break is going to say raspberry just from far away.
Mother Smucker, you guys fucked it up. Okay.
We schmucked it
Yeah,
up.
it's good though. I like this beer.
Yeah, it's a raspberry ale. It comes in at 5%. It's very sweet. I mean, we've had it before.
Raspberry.
And actually, it's a raspberry blonde ale, like Mom's toast and jam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Raspberry.
I like this one because it is now one way that I can get a peanut butter and jelly beer after arguably one of the best beers I've ever tasted in my entire life has now been canceled. Can't get it anymore.
But we can get that wine from St. Julian's that tastes really good.
That's right. So now at least we have a replacement.
But this is good. I like this beer. It's
Love
a
this
solid
beer.
drinker, and I will drink another one after the one I have.
Give Aaron a taste test here.
Remind him of the palate.
I needed a reminder because behind the scenes here, I drank mine already. I was on to a different beer. Dare I say, a good river beer.
Very good river beer.
It's light, like I said, it's only about 5%, but it's got a nice crisp, fruity flavor to it. Like nice hot sunny day.
It even says on the can to mix it.
Yes.
I was going to say, I believe a couple of years ago on the river, before I got the nice one, we had mixed this and the peanut butter or Nutter Your Business.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we put them together, and it is peanut butter and jelly beer, and it's great.
Great.
So I mean, this one comes from Grand Armory Brewing in Grand Haven, Michigan. I do know that they are licensed to ship across the country, so you may find their beer in other states. I'm not sure about the UK, probably not. But
Might be a little tougher.
yeah, but if you ever do come to the States and hang out with us, then we are definitely going to this place because they have some things you need to try.
Or just the States in general. You can do it without us.
Oh, yeah,
we prefer
I
to
suppose.
be there.
Yeah.
But
Especially for going here.
Nate, Jade, here's the question. Out of 5 raspberries, how many raspberries would you give this beer?
4.
I'm going to say 4.5.
I'm going to say 4.
I think that's solid across the
It
board.
tastes like
very,
a real
very good.
raspberry.
Raspberry.
That's what it is. It's like
Raspberry.
with grape and purple.
Raspberry.
You know what I mean? I can't with you guys. All right, we are going to get refilled on this, and we will be back right after this.
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
And we're back to talk a little bit more about Chapter 38 of Temple of the Winds.
Toe.
Yeah, so, and I like what your reasoning was because I do want to talk about a couple of mother schmuckas right now.
Okay, all right.
I mentioned it earlier, and I just need your guys' help. I do not understand how Zedd and Ann got caught. They were sneaking. They were trying not to get caught. They mentioned being able to see corpses, to be able to see around them. How did they not see these people that have painted their bodies white?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Help
So-
me, please.
See, that's what's confusing about it, because the mud people, we know, put the mud on their bodies so they could be darker and blend in with nature.
Yes.
These people are wearing ash, essentially highlighting their figures, even if it's at night.
But they live in this area, so they know how to be stealthy. They know how to hunt in this area, right? Ann and Zedd, I'm sorry,
Oh, yes.
are old, and they depend a lot on their magic.
Oh, good
So
point.
in order to see people around them or to feel people around them, they heavily rely on that Han to be sent out there and try and hit those sparks. They don't have that right now.
Okay.
On top of that, I see your hand and you are going to be speaking next, but my other point was just that they are she is distracting the fuck out of Zedd right now.
That's true. Yeah, she's asking
That's
a lot
true,
of
yeah.
questions. Okay. Nate, I have this weird feeling you had something you wanted to say.
Oh, I was just going to say, when the chapter opened, the thing Anne was doing was checking around to make sure that nobody was getting near them. So it's not that they weren't being vigilant. They were trying, but like Jade said, they were relying on their magic to do that. Them, and I don't know, Zedd maybe more, I would say Verna could probably do a pretty good job at sussing out whether or not a person was around her because she was in the,
She was traveling for
she
so
was
long.
traveling for
Okay.
so long, and she had to rely on her magic too. Mm-hmm. But Anne has been holed up at the palace, not exercising this skill.
Okay.
So I would say Anne is probably least qualified to do this without magic.
And she's nagging Zedd, who may be qualified to do
Who would
this,
be maybe a little more qualified
but
to
is
do
now
this.
doing it with an extra handicap. No magic and annoying Anne.
Yes.
And in these people's home.
And in their territory.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that still doesn't answer the question, really, of how did they get within 10 feet of them without them noticing. And I think that might just be, people in the wilds. We're talking about the mud people. It's knowledge of your surroundings and stealth.
Okay.
Here's the other thing. You see dead bodies on the hill, right? You're in the woods in front of the hill. You see dead bodies on the hill. You don't... Zedd assumes I tied in the bush because they'd be scared of the bush, right? To me, seems like these motherfuckers are hiding in the bush. That's how they're killing people who are going onto the hills.
You know what just
Okay.
occurred to me?
What?
What if the Nang Tongue were the bodies? They're all covered in ash. They look pale and possibly dead from a distance. what if when Zedd's looking up, he's like, holy fuck, look at all those dead bodies. Those were actually the Nang Tung.
They were laying on the ground.
Who laid down
for a
real
trap.
quick, like Toy Story rules, you know? And so they're like, oh, look at all those dead bodies. Let's be super careful. And then they turn around to sneak and do their thing, and then they come in for the catch.
Okay.
That's a far-flung theory, but
I'm not fully convinced, but I am in a much better place than I was 5 minutes ago.
At the very least, everybody here is on the same level when it comes to magic.
Well,
and these people are practiced at doing this, and Zedd and Ann aren't so much.
And that could make sense. So that's kind of what, while you guys were explaining it could be an overconfidence thing. So
Yeah.
like Zedd is very good at sneaking when he has the assistance of magic to help him.
Right.
And he is now overconfident in his actual sneaking skills because normally he has the concealing powder and whatever other spell he wants to cast.
Yeah,
and now he
ninja
has
poof
none of
ball,
those things.
exactly.
So like he's like the videos you see of like cats and dogs trying to sneak up on their owners, but they're using their cameras so they can see them the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so the Nantung are just like, what the fuck are these two doing?
They're
Yeah.
just right
And-
there.
They're about to walk right into us.
That is the strength. Like, that is the
Okay.
whole point of the Nangtung's power. It's their defense.
Yeah.
It's meant to strip whoever is coming in
Okay.
of their magic and their confidence so that they are easily able to swoop in and either take them to kill them or defend themselves.
Well, and then Zed mentioned too, or to run. Like they prefer to run.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
hey, we're gonna, even though it doesn't seem like we could be sneaky, we actually did see you first, and now we're running away.
Yeah, if it was a larger force,
Yeah.
they would be able to just be like, all right, peace out.
Okay.
Well, that can be a huge advantage if that's the game plan. Like, we don't
True.
want to get into a battle, but we want to know for damn sure if somebody is in our area.
Sure.
So, like, first contact is huge.
Okay.
I was also going to add, I know I might have made this joke before, but the Nangtung definitely play blue in Magic.
You weirdo.
They nope it
You're
so hard.
you're
You're like, oh, you want to use Magic? Nope.
You goddamn nerd.
I am a nerd, and you know what? I love it. Nangtung play blue. It is so spoken.
Well, you know what? I even feel better now than I did 2 minutes ago now. I do feel like I can see where they get captured more easily. But I did have one more thing I wanted to bring up before we fully wrap up.
Okay.
We spent the first 3/4 of the chapter explaining how if they get caught by the Nantung, they're screwed. And specifically Zed goes, I can't talk to them. That's why this is a problem. We need to leave.
Oh, yeah.
So I pose a question to you two. What is one of the first things that Zed does after getting captured?
Ooh, I know this one.
You didn't raise your hand. Can you raise your hand, please? Oh,
Yeah.
Nate. Yeah, go ahead.
He talks to him?
Yeah, he communicates right to him. He goes, I can't talk to him. Ann goes, why don't we ask for help? I can't talk to him. Ann says, why don't you use your honeyed words? Zed goes, I can't talk to them. Capture happens. Hey guys, why are you capturing us? They answer. Literally the exact opposite of what we've been told the whole time.
Oh, Red Moon. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
That was simple.
And again, it's like, maybe Zed can't talk to them, but he can communicate to them.
Yeah,
When
there are
Ann is
ways.
asking this question, that's what she fucking meant. She meant, can you communicate with them?
Yeah.
And yes, he can.
Yes, but
To a point.
I'm trying to think about how his conversation would go, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are obviously going to capture first, ask questions later, but then he gets to go, we're trying to help Red Moon, Jocopo Treasure.
Yeah. I'm missing the sign language for some of those key words. That's why I'm like, Zed, why did you think you couldn't communicate? To me, it seemed like you communicated quite
try.
effectively.
Yeah.
But you can't say Jocopo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, because then you're coming in and you're saying, hey, remember all those people that all those other people totally wiped out?
Yeah.
And then you're pointing at the Red Moon and pointing at yourself. And you're like, I can
That's
make
'cause of
fireball.
me.
Big
That's 'cause
fireball.
of me.
Wizard man. Magic destruction. And they're like, yeah, that's why you're in the cage.
Yeah. Throat slit. Yeah.
Exactly.
I just.
Also,
Yes, Jade.
the idea that
Could you raise your hand?
I didn't say that.
I wanted to try.
I mean, it was kind of like
She didn't even try. She's like, nah.
it was like half there, anyways. And also, why would they care? Oh, you're here looking for Jocopo Treasure. Okay, cool. You know what means more to us?
Yeah.
Having a human sacrifice to go to the underworld.
The Red Moon problem. Yeah, how do you sign language? I'm trying to fix the Red Moon problem.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hilarious because I have recently seen a couple videos online of the sign language experts who go to concerts.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to sign everything in real time. That some of these, especially it's the videos about rappers.
Eminem, yeah.
Right? Because words per minute can just be so fucking fast. Yeah, and these people are just keeping up with it. And you're like, how the fuck? They're coming up with words on the spot. We just watched something with, I want to say it was not Trevor Noah. I did this the last time too. The guy from Gallivant.
Michael
Bublé.
No, but he's like
He's the guy.
He had a comedian or one of the sign language experts at his show, and she was like, "Hey, are there any words that you made up that I'm going to have to come up with a sign for?" And I am not going to repeat the thing that he was saying. That is not my place to do so. But it was hilarious because she had to come up with something for this. Oh yeah, are you going to play it for us?
Puck. How could you?
Don't blame shit on my cat.
Yeah, I guess
podcast violation.
Ultimately, the point of all that was that in sign language, it is a living language, much like most languages, and it can be adapted to. So no, you don't have a specific sign, but play some charades, man. Figure it out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If Zedd was able to play charades to the general concept of why are you doing what you're doing, that's so much harder than like tree, me, pig, like those you can just point. But he's like asking them, I don't know what I said before, but the abstract concept of what is your motivation? Why are you doing, not what are you doing, why are you doing?
How do you do that?
If you can communicate that, you can communicate.
Also, just again, I'm just going to revisit the fact that these people probably, he already said that they probably sacrifice people whenever they get the chance to and not be caught. So it's just strange that he's even asking why. And the guy is even like, the Red Moon, instead of being like, opportunity, bitch.
Yeah, like, you know why.
Yeah.
Zedd, you know why.
Are you capturing us because of what you do where you capture people? Yeah, that's why we did that.
It really does kind of tie into the whole conversation that they had earlier in the chapter. Is it self-defense if you have to go out looking for it? Now, I know we spoke before we recorded this little segment, and that is going to be the focus of our side quest later on this week. But yeah, it all kind of ties in to where, like, the Nang Tongue, who knows? We don't really have a solid reason. I mean, the Red Moon and all that, they're going to kill Anne. But from their point of view, these people wandered into their hunting ground. I mean, it's not their fault they were there, and they were there to take care of a problem. So they're like, hey, let's eliminate this potential threat, especially if they were aware that they're magic people, which we don't know that they know yet.
Also, if the corpses weren't the Nang Tongue, there'd be dead bodies everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty good tell.
What? Why are we even asking why? Like, we kill people all the time. Didn't you see our hills?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They have not been sticking to it if that's not them.
Right.
I think they would have. I think it would have got mentioned if it was like, oh, there's a claw mark or there's a bite mark out of this person. They didn't mention that.
No.
They just said corpses.
Yeah. Just bodies.
So, okay. It still bothers me, but
The hills have eyes.
I feel a little bit better now. I do feel a little bit better. Thank you,
well,
Nate and Jade.
You're very welcome, Aaron.
Yeah.
And I also want to say thank you to everybody who is listening now for choosing to spend some time with us today. If you enjoyed this episode or this chapter in the book and wanted to let us know, you can write an email to podcastatt@gmail.com, or you can follow us on any of the social medias. If you felt like supporting this podcast directly, you can go to patreon.com/podcastatt and make a pledge on any one of the tiers there. We would just be happy to have you. If that's not your style, that's perfectly fine. Like and subscribe whenever/wherever you can. It would be much appreciated. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
You said that weird.
I did say that weird. It ended so nice. I was like, oh, that's good. But now that we're still talking, I can say, you know what? Thank you guys again one last time. And we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Raspberry.